back, everyone, to the next installment of The Silence of the Spirit Song, or shall we now call it The Birth of the Ebonchant?
Oh no.
No,
Uh-oh.
I didn't sign up for this.
Terrible.
I didn't sign up for this.
Quick recap from last session. You all had arrived at the waterfall in your quest to recover and rescue Ruth, to find the enigmatic elder Padme, who apparently disappeared upon the silence of the spirit song, and perhaps to find Koji, the mysterious figure that had been trapped within the heart knot for over 1,000 years and source of the spirit song up until this point. Upon arriving, some dialogue occurred before you decided enough was enough. Whatever was going on between Koji and a transferring of the spirit song from him to Ruth, Soto's daughter, you were not going to stand idly by and let that happen. However, Pookie was very insistent upon that, and so conflict arose, and it was rather brutal. It was a long, tragic, and rather confusing fight with individuals being possessed and switching sides, not quite sure what the heck Pookie was doing and whose side was on who and what you were going to do. But in the end, Kokoro decided to destroy the feather. Enough was enough. Pookie had to go. Unfortunately for you, that was not the end, as the destruction of the feather was apparently part of some larger scheme, and it actually transformed the fluffy, feathery Pookie that everyone loved into some horrendous undead construct, who now was not so much concerned about transferring the spirit song from the dying spirit of Koji into Ruth, but was now rather focused on instilling a new song into the picture, a new ritual to usher in the Ebonchant, a diametrically opposite song to that of the spirit song, where the spirit song provided peace, harmony, and the assured destruction of anything undead within the Dreamwood. The Ebonchant, there's just the opposite. There is an overarching sense of dread, of despair, anxiety that now settles upon the Dreamwood. The bright, clear skies that were once above you, filled with a multitude of stars, are now obscured by ominous and threatening clouds. And at the end of this battle, upon the completion of the ritual of the Ebonchant, whatever was left of Pookie in this strange construct form absorbed the spirit of Koji, who is now the new vessel of the Ebonchant. And before you had a chance to destroy Pookie, he managed to escape in a teleportation spell to who knows where. That being said, Ruth is safe, confused and frightened nonetheless, but safe. And Elder Padme, exhausted, spent of all her spell slots and power, is distraught. She realizes now the gravity of her actions and the mistakes that she has made. For now, the spirit song is lost forever. Now let that sink in. It is gone and cannot be recovered. that just leaves the Ebonchant in its place. And now perhaps your quest has changed. Whereas before you thought you were here to restore the Spiritsong, to restore that peace and harmony throughout the Dreamwood, you make a conscious choice not to allow that to happen because Ruth would have been that vessel. And you were not willing to sacrifice Ruth to be the vessel of this new Spiritsong. So with that decision, however, you allowed the Spiritsong to pass. And that's where we'll start tonight. In the aftermath of this epic battle, on the shores of this beautiful waterfall and the pool beneath it, enormous swans still gracefully swimming down there, in contrast to the heroes, you, lying on the shores of this pond. And tell me, I'm going to pass through each one of you and ask you what's going through your mind at this point. I'm going to start with Old Bog.
Is this the immediate aftermath?
Yeah.
I would imagine he's just sitting on his keister, elbows on his knees, head hanging down, just completely wiped out. And sometimes I think Old Bog isn't smart enough to know what's going on. He just knows the difference between right and wrong. And he's just hoping that they picked what was right.
Kokoro.
I think I probably have my head on Old Bog's lap, just kind of looking up and just pondering about literally everything that just went down. Exhausted, like mentally drained, and just pondering back and forth, like all the decisions that were made, like they kind of got us where we're at.
Harlow.
Harlow is conflicted. She is feeling very guilty. She had two opportunities to help Soto and made the choice to walk away to try to do what she could to help everyone overall and be more effective, but they lost anyway. Soto lived, but now she has to deal with the fact that was she okay with letting one of her friends die? Is that the right choice? And now this fear that everything she knew before at the Yinxing outpost, there's danger there too. And just feeling like she's let everyone down. She wasn't useful in the fight. But then she was hiding with Ruth, and Ruth is okay. So just really feeling like she doesn't know what her worth is, what her benefit is here, and if they're doing the right thing, if she made the right choices, and just really struggling with that.
Okay. And Enid, I know you're probably on the BART right now, but if you can talk. If not, that's okay too.
It's a little, I don't know if you guys hear me. No?
It's a little.
Can you hear? Let me just I'll type in video ninja chat and someone can that's
Gotcha.
Sure, that's fair. We can do that. While you're typing away, I'm gonna swing over to Soto.
Hello. Soto, wow, I can't imagine how he's feeling right now. He was a dead man walking for most of that fight, honestly. He was at 1 HP for quite a few turns. But I think even though he is physically and mentally exhausted, he's still, I guess he's selfishly proud that he did what he had to do as a father. Although, the consequences we're going to find out soon, but he did keep his promise to his partner, to his daughter, to himself. Everyone lived. And right now, I think he's just going to check to see if his daughter is okay.
Your daughter lies huddled in your lap, sobbing, distraught, obviously. For when she first arrived here, she was almost in a state of bliss as she was communing directly with Koji, feeling the direct power of the Spiritsong. And when you first arrived here, she mentioned to you, this is where she belongs. She needs to learn this song. This was singularly the most important thing for her. And that is gone, ripped away from her, and she will never be able to feel that again. And so not only does she feel that kind of void or emptiness now where there was once hope and love and joy, is now empty and seems vacuous, that space now, and unfillable. And on top of that, Pookie, who she had grown quite attached to in this short amount of time, trusted him implicitly, had become something truly horrible and unfathomable to her, nightmarish. And so, yeah, she's in a complete state of mentally, emotionally shut down.
In that case, I don't think he's going to try and say anything. He's just going to keep, stroking her face, just trying to reassure her that he's here and that she can feel what she needs to.
All right. And I'm just saying to you guys, if Enid types something in Discord, just let me know because I'm not really watching it.
She put it in the video ninja chat.
Okay.
Enid
okay.
is shell shocked. Nothing that's happened has been the choice she wanted to make, but had to make out of necessity. Conflicted like Harlow, glad to have saved Ruth, but terrified of what the bigger consequences may be.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that.
No worries.
Padme makes her way over to you, a little bruised from having been knocked off a ledge by old Bog earlier in the fight. An old Gerbine lady being knocked around by a servant. But she makes her way over, kind of rubbing her bruises and looking absolutely exhausted and upset. She doesn't say a word, but just tries to join your little circle and sits down and stares into the pond. And she's speaking more to herself than to you, but you all hear her ask the question, what have I done? What do I do now? You spend the next 8 hours contemplating your decisions and what just transpired here. You've taken your long rest. You've leveled up. And at the end of that rest, Padme approaches you and says, I feel I've made a terrible mistake, an error in judgment. I am terribly sorry for endangering your daughter. She looks to you, Soto. I did not comprehend the nature of the threat. I thought I was doing the right thing. My judgment as of late has been faulty, to say the least. If you have any thoughts or ideas as to what we could possibly do now, you have my assured support and whatever help I can offer you. I hope it's just not too late. And that it will be enough.
So hard to say.
Toto, you have two brothers that have gone to Datura to try and find out what's been happening there. And on top of that, Celine, before leaving her grove, explicitly gave Enid a warning: return home as quickly as you can. You also have a sister accompanied by a professor that went to the Yingxing research outpost to discover whatever they could there, perhaps the origin of the shells or whatever. And then there's the matter of your daughter, who probably just wants to go home.
In light of all that, I guess Soto would probably just say in general, not to anyone specific, just to say, I know I need to leave here, both Ruth and I. There's nothing left for us here.
Ruth looks up to you and speaks for the first time since the battle and says, "Can we go home, Papa?"
Of course we can. I'll take you back home.
Elder Padme says, "I can get you there quickly through my teleportation circle now that my powers have been restored after that rest. If that is what you want."
Yes, I would be in your debt if you did that.
I fear that if I do such a thing and I accompany you, I must answer for my actions. And it is unlikely I will be able to assist you any further.
That changes stuff. uh, um. Because we're like days out from home.
Yeah, like
I walk. So yeah.
Padme says, where is it that you would like to go?
I just want to make sure my daughter gets home back to the down below.
If there is somewhere you need to be that is not back at Joa, I can take Ruth home, if you trust me. And she gestures down to the swans in the pond and says, if there is somewhere else you need to go, these swans can take you. It will not be as fast as a teleportation circle, but it would be much faster than by foot.
As much as I do want to take her home myself, my friends, they helped me retrieve her again, and my duty is also to them. So, if Ruth is agreeable with it, then I would allow you to take her home.
Ruth is, at this point, pretty much unresponsive to most things. So if you tell her to go with Padme, she probably would, just because she's not capable right now of making any other kind of decision.
Then, with a very deep sigh because, they're saying goodbye yet again after everything that's happened. Is Ruth still laying in his lap, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. He'll just say, Ruth, I need you to listen to me. You're going home, but you need to go with Padme. She's going to take you back home to Papa. I have other things that I need to do, but I promise I will come back home. Can you do that for me?
Can you make an insight check for me, please?
I guess so.
I'll do
Above
it.
table.
Yep.
Above table, how far are we from Ms. Dion's house?
You mean... Okay.
Say it. Come on.
No, I'm not.
Andrew?
Far.
Okay.
How to say that?
We're on like day 2 or 3 of like an 8-day trip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it further than the down below?
It's closer to us now because it was on the way from Joa.
Because I'm wondering
Yeah.
if Padme and Ruth can take a swan to Miss Dion's house. They could all be safe there, and they have 2 people watching over her.
Oh, I just worry about the emotional damage.
I mean, Celine's a kooky lady, man. She'll keep Ruth entertained. Teach her about the stars.
Old Bug grumbles, get the girl back home. Put her in her bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the original plan. I got a 22 on the insight check.
Ooh.
With that insight check, when you look down at Ruth, it's like looking down at the shell of a girl she used to be.
God damn it. I'm the worst dad ever.
Oh no.
Worst dad ever, man. Okay.
I nudge old Bog. Say something. Say
Ah,
He didn't say that. I said that.
I know.
are you saying it out loud or are you thinking it?
He's thinking it.
Okay. You're okay.
So she doesn't like just like blink, nod, anything.
Yeah, she's very pretty much. Before she was in some kind of weird blissful trance. Now she's in some almost comatose kind of despair.
Okay. Well, if she's not responding, then unfortunately I'm just gonna have to pick her up, carry her over to, unless she's gonna walk on her own. I'm not sure at this point.
She will, if you're holding her hand and you guide her, she'll
Okay.
walk.
So we'll
with you.
hold her hand, we'll take her over to Padme, and we're gonna give Padme explicit instructions. My home is with a Mipak named Merle in the down below. We have 2 other children named TP and Marcel. You need to take her there, nowhere else. Do you understand?
I swear, I shall.
And please help them receive several cases of wine that should or should not. You hear it from somewhere.
And you, and she says, when I arrive, I shall send you word. That she is home safe. My only motivation in all of this was to protect the children. So I will do so with my life. Ruth will be safe.
And I will trust you'll see it done.
Now, before I go, I must ask you, where shall I instruct the swans to take you?
I think he'll look over at Enid and say, I think we need to go to Datura.
given the fact that Enid likely is not in a position to talk right now. Is there anyone else that has an opinion on this?
Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, said Enid.
Arlo's kind of listening to everything, but sort of like not willing to be very involved in the decision making at this point. So she's kind of like pacing a little bit at the outskirts of the group, just sort of listening and not really processing.
Old dog's kind of non-responsive.
We have a chat. Oh, so Riley says, "Can you guys not hear me?" I said, "Yes, we definitely need to go to Datura." Okay.
All right. It's very well. And you see her take a few steps towards the ledge. She looks over her shoulder quickly at where you are, Old Bog, to make sure you don't throw her off another cliff.
Oh no.
And
Oh my
looks-
god.
Ouch.
looks down at the swans, outstretches her hands, and kind of makes trumpety type noises as if she's trying to exactly I'm not going to try and mimic that, but the swans all kind of like rise up out of the water, beat their wings, and as they do so, it's sending immense ripples and waves across this pond. As I mentioned before, these things are huge. And they slowly waddle their way over to the shore and wait. It says, the journey to Datura from here, despite you'll have the advantage of flight, will still take you over a day. They will make sure you arrive safely, but just don't ruffle their feathers. If you fall off, they will not be able to catch you.
Cool. Cool.
And she takes Ruth's hand and starts leading her away towards the camphor tree, where she said the teleportation circle was. And she pauses before she leaves sight of you. Ruth isn't turning around. She's still facing forward, but Padme turns around and says, I'm sorry. If there's anything I can do beyond this to make things right, just please let me know.
Well, traded one sweet song for a rancid one. Now I guess we got to end the rancid one. You can help with that.
If the wardens of the Jowiver tree do not strip me of my position and power, then I'll do what I can.
Yeah, you should probably stray away from the wardens until all this is resolved.
He smiles and says, I'm afraid that will be very difficult. The teleportation circle that I will be taking is within the heart of the Jowiver tree, within the hole in the bowl, surrounded by wardens. So
Don't sit around and wait for somebody to let you help. Just help.
I'll do what I can. And I pray to all the gods that they shine their light favorably upon you. And she bends down, looks at Ruth, and says, come on, dear. Let's go home. And they walk away and out of sight.
As they start to walk away,
Mhm.
Harlow's going to say, wait just a sec. And she's going to pull out my workbook and I'm going to scribble on one page. And I'm just going to write a note and sign it at the bottom that says, we are sending Elder Padme back with Ruth. By our word, please take no lasting action against Elder Padme before speaking with us. Thank you. Just hopefully prevent, anything really crazy from happening. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what the wardens, like, if they do if there will be a hearing or something, but I don't want someone to take some crazy action against you and then we never hear from you again. Hopefully this helps, if anything, since they sent us in the first place. And I'm going to hand her the note so you can have this if it is worth anything.
Can I grab the note and add something to it?
Sure.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yes. The Spiritsong is dead. The Ebonchant is now thrumming.
Yeah, we can add to the note. Yeah, we continue our quest.
Headed to Datura. I don't know how long we're going to be there. What is our timeline like, Andrew? Do we have some sort of like immaterialistic countdown, or we don't know?
Padme, do you know how long it would take us to get to Datura?
It would take a full day by swan flight.
Okay, put that on there, Kokoro. That will be reachable in Datura in a day.
Yeah. And then I'm going to wrap it up and address it, and I'm going to put to His Majesty. He'll know who this is from. And then I hand it to Pat.
Okay. Elder Padme looks around to the rest of you. Any other addendums to the note you'd like to add?
Is there anything that would help you?
No, I don't.
Oh, I grab it back again. PPS. Gather all the forces you can. War is coming. Sorry, I don't have better news. Love Kokoro and the gang. And then I wrap it up and give it back.
Kokoro and the gang.
That's so good. Oh man, that's our group name, Kokoro and the Gang. We're like Josie and the Pussycats.
They're cool in the gang. Anyway.
Cool in the gang is what I thought of.
All right. And with that, she finally leaves this pond, and the swans sit there waiting for you.
Dog puts his hand on Soto's shoulder, said, "You did good, man. You did good."
Did I really? It doesn't feel like it.
Ain't easy, but did what you had to do when you needed to do it.
Feels
That's
like
what
I got her
matters.
back, but I lost her anyway.
Oh. Can't believe I'm the one saying this, but life only goes in one direction.
I suppose. And you can tell, like, just all the wind is out of his sails now.
Well, that direction's up. I'm going to try to wrestle the swan.
Oh my god.
As you guys all get on, approach your swans. I need you all to make an animal handling check.
Oh.
Can I have some Please let me be one with the
Nat
bird.
20.
Oh,
Nat
cute.
20.
You wrestled two of them?
One with the birds.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay. Not too bad. All right. Not bad at all. Okay. Jeez, you guys are good. And Enid. Who wants to roll a d20 for Enid?
I can roll in for Enid.
Yeah, I'm not touching another D20 this whole session.
Oh god. I got the Enid curse.
Enid
What does she
curse.
have? What does she have?
No.
Can I
Plus one.
compensate for that with my nat-
Okay. Sorry, Enid. Jesus.
All right. Enid, apparently Vespers were not meant to fly on
Swans.
on swans.
Oh, boy.
You have a bit of a hard time as the swan kind of takes off, perhaps a little didn't quite like the way you grabbed onto its feathers and it's kind of bucks a little bit. But I will say with a natural 20, Soto, you're able to assist. Hold on, I see another chat coming in here. So I want to make sure. Okay. And
Oh, she's
because
almost
it, well, there she is. It was a group check, so you all passed, and with a nat 20, you can help Nina out.
okay.
You take off from this beautiful, idyllic space. I mean, if it weren't for the fact that there was a pitched battle here that took place a mere 8 hours ago, some horrific things happened, some very tragic things happened. As you look down upon it, it still looks perfect and tranquil, despite the sense of dread kind of descending upon you and wrapping around your hearts, and this ominous sky being blotted out now with endless roiling clouds. There's also a bitter chill to the air, not only from the altitude that the swans take, but something more, something that kind of penetrates to your bones. And you know it's an unsettling feeling, and you know that something is out of place here in the Dreamwood. And once, as now high above the Dreamwood, soaring above the forests and the rivers below, what should have been a beautiful sight of bamboo trees swaying in the wind and the stars and moonlight being reflected in the rivulets of water and streams below, it now seems full of shadows and fear and darkness. And there's a strange quiet that kind of settles over the forest. And even that is more unsettling than the absence of the Spiritsong. You spend the next 8 hours flying. The swans beating their massive wings, pushing and propelling you forward into the night sky. When daylight comes and you're still kind of, you have rested, but it's still going to require a constitution saving throw for you guys because this is equivalent to a forced march. So we'll see if you land with a point of exhaustion.
Con saves.
Oh, no.
Soto, you do not have luck with exhaustion.
No, he almost died, so it's thematically correct.
All right. So Harlow and Soto, you have each a point of exhaustion. Who wants to roll for Enid this time?
I'll do it. Ah, cursed! I'm sorry.
All right, Enid, unfortunately, sorry, you are also exhausted at the end of this, too.
It's rough.
All right, I just have to find out where on this character sheet of exhaustion there it is. There. Okay. At the end of this long flight that you carry on in silence and lost in your own thoughts, you find yourselves looking down below on a forest. And this is a strange sight, especially for you, Enid. You see the mountains kind of that were once off looming in the distance. You were kind of nestled against the north range of the Dreamwood. You've traveled kind of from a north to southerly direction, heading eastward to Datura. And as you did so, the southern range kind of grew and now is looming ahead of you. And what should have been a familiar sight for you, Ian, this looks a little different because now below you there's a large clearing. It's if a large swath of the forest has been clear cut, and in its place is a camp filled with tents.
Whoa.
Below you, you see soldiers moving along. Most of them, by this time, it's taking you a full day, so it is nighttime again by the time you reach here. But there are still soldiers patrolling the grounds, and you see some kind of sitting around campfires and sharpening spears and swords. And you can all clearly tell these are mountain folk. They're Gaffin. They are creatures that you're not familiar with. They're not from the forest. And you can surmise that this is the Ironclad Legion that has descended and is now blocking the way to Datura. Can you each make a perception check with disadvantage, please?
Shift?
Disadvantage is control.
Oh, control.
Oh. All right. And who's going to roll for Enid this time? Who hasn't rolled for Enid yet?
Bog's turn, I guess.
All right. D20's coming up.
All right, we'll have to roll that again.
3.
That's a 3.
Yeah.
All right, so nothing above a 10 amongst a lot of you. So yeah, that's all you can really tell from this distance unless you want to get closer. What would you like to do? Do you want to descend? Or try to move past them and approach the cave entrance to Datura yourself?
How close are they to the cave entrance? Like, there's no way that we could try to skirt and not fly over them.
They would
without
see you.
seeing? Okay.
And what's the general perception of these ironclad dudes? Are they aggressive? Are they pretty belligerent? What's their reputation?
All that you would remember from your stories is that the Ironclad Legion were allied with the necromancers and the necromantic wars.
Riley says, let's make it to Datura first. Maybe people in town know more about what's going on.
Yeah. Bog is on his goose saying, keep going, keep going.
When you say the word goose, the swan honks belligerently.
Go, that goose is loose.
Bog don't know the difference. It's all just
All right, so you try and fly over them towards the cave entrance. I need you all to make an animal handling check again. See if you can do this without being seen.
we got this.
Come on.
We don't got this.
Somebody does, I don't.
This will be a group check, so as long as half of you succeed,
Bog,
your DC is going to be 12. So you got
Huge.
2 successes, 2 failures. Enid's the tiebreaker. Who's going to roll for Enid?
Oh,
Caesar.
God.
Caesar.
No, why me?
No, you got this. You got this. You can do it.
Got it.
Last time you said that I rolled in that one.
Nope.
So it's going to be interesting either way.
Huh?
All right.
That's it.
Just
That's what we
did
needed.
it. All right. So with your group check, you managed to make a wide circle around the camp and make your way to the cave entrance. As you make your way to the entrance, a little further up the slope, Enid again, what should have been a familiar sight, suddenly seems very odd to you and unfamiliar. This used to be a very well-traveled road, well-maintained, lots of business. There were often merchants and folks kind of loitering outside the cave. It was a busy place, like the entrance to a beehive almost. But now it sits silent. And there's a strange mist almost kind of coming out of the cave entrance. There are a couple of ironclad Legion guards positioned here as well.
What do they look like? Can I take them?
They look like two Geffen, two mountain goat folk. They're dressed in half plate and they carry spears.
I eat pieces of goat shit like that for breakfast.
So what would you like to do? Would
Does
you
it
like
look-
to land?
Does it look like they're part of the Legion, or they're guarding the cave for the Datura?
No, they're clearly part of the Ironclad Legion.
What if
Go
we
ahead and make a perception or an insight check, Kokoro. Again, at disadvantage because you guys are a little high up in the dark.
Okay, how do I do that again? Control,
Control. Yep.
and then click it.
Yep.
That work?
I don't see it yet.
Nope. I'm just gonna do it the old-fashioned way.
Okay.
Click that bad boy twice.
Ooh, a 14 and a 15.
All right. And what's your perception bonus? 17? Okay. Plus 2. There's a 16. You get the impression that they're not guarding anyone from going in. They're guarding from people or something coming out.
I will. Can I maneuver my? How are we flying? Like in V formation? Like what's the?
They're swans, not geese.
What's the I didn't assume. I'm not assuming. I'm an equal opportunist flying veer. What is like? What was like? Are we able to like maneuver the swans?
So far, you're kind of just circling above. You can see the tent camp of the Ironclad Legion camp, not too far away. Maybe not only a couple hundred feet away from the entrance to the Datura. There are a number of guards stationed between them, with two guards standing right in front. You're kind of circling above them, staying out of sight.
Okay, if I talk to everybody, they can everybody hear me, or
Yeah, if you guys kind of fly off a little away from this place, you guys are free to talk to each other, yell to each other.
okay, I'll try to like motion us to like go a little bit further out.
Okay.
Yes,
What's going on, Kokoro?
So looks like the two people that are guarding the cave are not really guarding people coming in, but it looks like they're trying to stop something from coming out, or they're not letting the deterrent out. I'm not too sure.
Ooh.
Kind of the vibe I'm getting. So clearly the only resource that we have is these swans, so we just swan dive them.
You think they look like they'll let us in, but not out again?
I don't know how friendly they look, to be honest. So it's a toss-up whether they'll let us in, because if they let us in, then they're definitely not going to let us back out, right? Because if there is something going on, then I mean, we're not going to know unless we go down there and either talk or try to go past them. And is there any back way to the cave? Is it just like one way only? Yeah. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to make our way down, so we can either like land the swans peacefully a little bit further away and make our way and try to have somewhat of a conversation.
I could hypothetically go down there and ask them if they'll let us in. If you think it looks like they're more likely to let us in, just not out. But if I have trouble, I can use my glimmer box to set off a flare, essentially, and then you guys can swoop in and just drag me, and we'll all go down the tunnel with the swans.
Hmm.
Do you want to get taken hostage? Do you want to alert the whole camp?
Well, my plan is to not do that.
That's good.
But I'm just spitballing here.
I think we need to incapacitate those numbnuts before they have a chance of alerting their camp. Then we'll have hundreds of goats circling this entranceway, and we'll never get in.
Oh,
But
yeah.
we should land the swans a little bit further away and try to stealth our way in.
Okay.
Andrew, just to double check, it's my two brothers that are in there? Okay, yes.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
For what it's worth, we do know two people that are inside. If that would gain any sort of leverage to let us in.
And Enid is from here. She has family on the inside as well.
It's just risky, period. Right? If we're really trying to avoid any sort of massive confrontation, the plan is to bog it and take them out.
Bog it.
I very much thought you said toboggan, like
Toboggan.
sled down the side of the mountain.
I love how bog is a verb now. We're just gonna bog it.
The bog.
You went Super Saiyan last session? Absolutely.
I'm gonna bog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other option that we have is to like literally try and go and conversate, and then the risks of that are enormous. They can alert the camp, they can grab us, they can grab some of us, and can make a mess. And even if we pull up with Enid, like what if they don't like deterrents? What if they're keeping the deterrents in there, and we show up with literal Bat Lady? That's not gonna go well either.
What if we
Bog it.
and old Bug says, I'm not the strategist, but what if we lure them away? What if we get them to leave their post?
What if we bait them with Enid and have them come and follow her, and then we just bog them?
That's the move.
That lady on a scale of 1 to 10.
Enid, do you know of any other like smaller ways we could sneak in, or is this the only cave entrance like to get there?
So, there are other entrances to this massive cavern system beneath the mountains, but they are I'll give this to you for free. They would likely be guarded too.
Okay.
And Enid, I know you can't. I don't know if she can even hear us right now, but I will say this: in this scene that we're seeing here, with the kind of ominous cave entrance at the bottom of this mountain, there is a windswept tree, kind of sitting off to one side. That is the same tree with which Enid, one time long ago, sat with her mentor at the time, Thadric, to view the beautiful night sky and observe the constellations.
Whoa.
A completely different scene now.
She did say we need to figure out what they're keeping in. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we got to get in there to figure it out. I have an idea, another one that could work without having to use Bat Lady as a bait.
Okay.
Bait Lady. I can, if we have a couple of minutes, we can get close enough. I can ritual cast silence, which will let all of us either move past them or take them down without making any noise and alerting the camp.
Can't they just run out of the spell and then yell?
We don't let them. You got your wheelies and we got the bog. Like, this has to be like
Oh, I see.
Also, like, I don't really know if they would. I don't really think silence makes like this, like, oh, you're in a silence orb. I think they just stop hearing things. So they might just
Yeah,
like-
that's a good point. What if we, okay, what if we just sneak down there and ask them what's going on and tell them we want to go in, and if they get aggressive, cast silence, like have it ready to go,
I mean,
and then we run in.
we can do that. I'd rather not waste the spell slot because we don't know what's in the cave. But it's an option. I mean, regardless whether we beat them up, because if we beat them up, we can take one in the cave with us and question them there. Like, we have options. I don't think this is going to be a friendly conversation.
I'm guessing the first sign out of the unusual, out of the ordinary, these guys are going to blow their horn.
Right.
All right.
And I know we're trying to be Harlow. I know you're trying to be as PC as possible. But we don't live in the same world anymore.
What are they guarding, Harlow? Why are they not letting anybody out?
Why is there a giant encampment of them right out front?
Well,
What's
I was
going
just
on in there?
thinking that, like, if we start a big fight, that is also likely to cause problems for us. I'm just
Doesn't have to be a big fight if it's
Okay.
just
No, but she's got a point, right? Things go sideways. Things go sideways. We're going to have 100 goats up our butts.
Do
We
we
might-
want to incapacitate them quietly and sneak in, or do we want to get info? Because what if we sneak up, try to listen in on them? If they're chatting, we could maybe hear what they're talking about and find out what's going on in the cave, but all be ready to like attack or incapacitate them if they hear us and go with like that plan. But I just feel like this is really weird, and I want to know why are they doing this? Like, is there something dangerous in the cave? Or like, because I don't want to run in and be in danger there if I could have got info.
we're in danger anyways. These are people that helped out in the necromantic wars. These are not good people.
Okay.
As much as information as we want to know, we're either going to find out what's in the cave by going in the cave, or we're going to have to deal with these goat people. And if we deal with the goat people, it could be very bad.
All right. I'm going to pull out my nail gun and be like, I'm ready to go whenever.
What does everybody else think?
Well, we could watch them, see if they changed their shift, see when the new guys come.
Get them
If
while
we
they're
been right away, we could at least watch them.
We won't
Okay.
know anything until we're on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, we got to park the swans.
Right?
And then we got to just sneak up as close enough to be able to see what's going on.
That all sounds well and good. I'm just not too sneaky.
I can make it quiet, but yeah, we'll do our best.
Let's put these birds on the ground.
Roger, Roger.
All right. Yeah. So you descend with your flock of swans. I don't know if flock's the right word, but anyway, just a little. I'm assuming not right on top of them. You're gonna go and do it discreetly someplace off, and you'll.
Oh
try
yeah,
to
yeah. Since we like moved away to like talk, I
Mhm.
figured we'd land them like somewhere there, and then just move along the side of the cave,
Alright.
closer to the mouth, and like try to sneak to. I mean, I like what Harlow said about like trying to eavesdrop to see if we can hear anything before we take an action. But
So you all land, dismount from your swans, and gather all your belongings and whatnot from their packs and saddles or whatnot, and then they fly off. They give you a disdainful little honk, and with a flurry of feathers and beat of their wings, kind of again, they're massive, so you just feel this force of air rushing against you as they take off, and they disappear into the night sky.
do we see any commotion from? Like, were they far away enough doing all of that?
Yep, you guys are safe.
I guess we gotta start sneaking.
All right. Who's going to be doing the sneaking?
Who feels sneakiest? I have some decent sneak.
Mine's all right.
What's all right? What's all right? If you were to metrically give me a number for that.
I think I have like, as a Mapak, I have like advantage or something. If I'm in low light or something like that. Let me check my
I mean, we're night, so you should be like roll.
Skulker. I have advantage on stealth checks made in dim light and darkness.
Huge.
Have advantage for sure.
Nice.
Yeah. I have a +4.
I have a +3.
They'll hear my knees cracking from 50 feet away.
All right, well, I think I'm just gonna sneak down there and see what's happening.
Yeah, I'll go right behind Harlow. I'll tell Harlow we have to be very, very quiet.
You're the only
Can you
one
guys
talking.
hear me now?
Yeah.
Yay!
Okay.
Try to sneak.
What? If we can figure out what they are keeping from coming out, I can make it come out illusionarily.
That's good. Okay.
Ooh.
Or
We're
we
gonna
could
sneak
lure
in.
them. We could lure them off of their out of their, or, you know,
So
lure
if
them
you
away.
guys sneak and listen and figure out what they're trying to not let out, then
So,
we can distract them and sneak in.
That's a great
Uh,
idea.
Yeah.
how do we figure out though, like what's in? That's the whole thing.
We're gonna sneak up and try to listen in and see what they're talking about, see if there's any info we can get.
All right, but if they're just talking about their day and how nice a cool 9 crisp it is,
Then
We
throw
got-
a rock or something.
we gotta bog it.
All right.
All right. So let me make sure I have the picture set. Who is sneaking up? There's Kokoro and Harlow.
Yeah, Harlow, me, and then I guess Soto. No, you have +3.
Sure, why not?
That doesn't-
So
Sounds so promising.
is Enid going?
Enid, what's
I
your
don't
stealth?
know what my stealthy is. I
Okay,
don't think I'm stealthy.
I'll check for you. Your stealth is a +2.
Can I stay within 30 feet of Harlow?
Mhm.
Are we still on the swans?
No,
Oh.
you dismounted.
And they left.
We dismounted.
Yes.
Okay.
So we flew a little bit past the cave. The plan was to try to eavesdrop and see if we can overhear any conversations about like what they're keeping in there, right? And then if that's not the case, then the plan is to try to cast silence and then take them out, or at least take one out and kidnap the other one and bring them in the cave and then question them there and see what's happening to not cause a commotion with sound.
Yeah. If all else, like if we can't figure out what they're trying to keep in, I can also just make it seem like someone's trying to get out and they can go after that person.
Okay, yeah, that's good too.
All
So
right.
everyone except Old Bog. All right, Old Bog. I'll say as long as you stay 100 feet away, you'll be fine. You don't need to make stealth checks.
All right, that's what I'll do.
That's real far.
That's like 2
Message
rounds
is
of
30
dash.
feet, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
What if we do like Harlow, me, Soto, and then Enid 30 feet away from Soto, and then Old Bog 30 feet away from Enid?
Hold on.
That doesn't put him
Guys,
as far as 100 feet. He'd be 60 feet away from us technically. Would he still have to stealth?
Yeah. So Old Bog is way back there.
Do you have disadvantage on stealth? Is that
I think because of my armor, yeah.
okay? Gotcha.
Yeah, I have disadvantage on stealth.
Get naked, bro.
I'm fixing you, Harlow. Stop rotating.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to zoom out, but I'm using a touchpad, so it just keeps making your turn.
All right, and don't forget, Enid, Harlow, and Soto. You are exhausted, so you'll have disadvantage on ability checks.
So I just have normal then.
She just has normal. Okay, that
Yeah.
changes a lot of things. What's
So
your
how about
norm-
+2 to stealth?
Okay, so then let me lead the stealth.
Okay.
And
I'll be
then
right behind you then.
so the order should be like me, Harlow, Soto, or it could be me, Soto, Harlow, 30 feet away from Harlow, Enid, and then Old Bog. Something like that.
Yeah, that's probably good.
All right.
All right.
And before we go in there, can I use my disguise kit to make myself look like a goat person?
You want to disguise yourself?
Yeah, for now.
All right. I need you to make a performance check.
Okay, this is like before we start the sneaking.
Yep.
Because if it looks like shit, I'm dropping. Performance.
Manifest it.
How long does it take to use disguise kit? 'Cause if we have
That's
10
a-
minutes, I could do the same thing.
Yep. 10 minutes.
Okay. I'm going to do that with my scrounge crafting kit as well, just in
All right.
case.
All right. Go ahead. And that'll be a performance at disadvantage for you, Harlow.
I have
I guess another plan I just thought of too. If shit hits the fan, I could just pretend that I captured Enid, and that
Yes.
you guys are her accomplice,
Oh yeah, that's a
And I'm-
great idea.
and I'm bringing them back in.
as long as I spend 10 minutes using scrounge crafting,
Mhm.
it will be functional. Are you saying just to see how good the disguise is?
Let me see this description here. Tinker's tools, functional versions of common items.
That's for Tinkers, but it's for the scrounge crafting kit.
Okay, scrounge crafting.
Is even capable of passing for a disguise.
Right. Okay. Yeah, still make a performance check just to see how
Yeah.
good it is.
Do I look like a goat or am I just wearing armor kind of a thing? Okay. Do I get a disadvantage for performance as well?
Yeah.
Ability check, yeah.
I'll just roll 2.
All right. No
So
worries.
11.
11. All right. Still passable. But you probably don't want it under bright light and direct scrutiny. It might be a little iffy.
Okay.
What about mine? Am I good?
Yep. Yours is good. Yours is good.
Bah. Okay.
All right. So
This
So
is a
the fr-
bad situation, guys. Okay.
the front group of Kokoro, Harlow, Soto, I need you all to make stealth checks.
Oh god, okay.
I will be using Kenku Recall for these for sure. Just roll it.
Straight check.
Also, I just looked and my message is 120 feet.
Oh. That's cool.
I'm not sure why that is.
Oh, that's cool. All right. Unless
So I'm going to stay 100 feet away so I don't have to make checks.
Sonar.
All right.
You have sonar.
Nice. Yeah.
I wonder if it's anyway. We'll go with that. So you're 100 feet away you're back there with Old Bog then. Okay. Kokoro. Yeah. All right. So you guys are approaching. Sneaky like,
Where is?
and you're maybe about 15 feet away when Kokoro, you accidentally kick a pebble and it goes skittering across the pathway.
Of course.
And one of the goats looks down at where the pebbles kind of landed and looks back, and he's looking right at you now.
Report.
They look at you and say, it's nothing to report.
Nothing to report, sir.
Sir? We weren't expecting to be relieved for another hour. Is there something wrong, sir?
Yes, your attention is needed at the camp. I'm here to take over.
They look at each other. Can you make a persuasion check for me, please?
I would love to, Andrew.
Yeah, come on.
All right. Very persuasive.
Nice.
And they look at each other and says, "Well, you don't have to ask me twice. This place gives me the creeps." And they both.
Before you
Okay.
leave, as always, you need to inform the last shift and the new shift what the last shift saw, if anything changed or didn't happen.
Last shift, new shift. Sure. Yes, sir.
While you guys were here, what did we see? What did we hear from the cave? Any updates? There's a reason we're in front of this cave, yes?
Yeah.
So then,
What- You mean you don't know?
it's not that I don't know. It's literally, what is the summary of your shift, right? What is the point of having you here if you can't tell me what happened while you were here?
Okay. The killer mist has not left the cave.
It's still within the cave.
Yes.
How far back is it now? Has it moved up?
I don't know. We didn't go in.
When's
That wasn't our orders.
Okay, the shift before you, when they communicated with you, did they tell you? Did they go in? Did they check?
No.
Who relieved you? Who did you relieve? I need names.
Oh God.
It's-
Can I do the help action on his persuasion? Like, I can look at them and kind of like put my hand by my eyes and be like, "He loves rules, guys. Just go with it. It's much easier."
Lieutenant Baby, can you please take down the names?
Yes, sir. And I get out my notebook and I start to write it down and I like eye them.
Well, it was Jeff. Jeff was here before us.
Jeff.
It was Jeff.
Who else? Who was with Jeff? Jeff can't be alone.
It was Jeff and Kim.
Okay, at least Kim was there. Someone responsible. What did they tell you guys?
Nothing. It's been quiet. No one's come in or out since we took those prisoners.
No disturbances.
No.
What's the status on the prisoners? I haven't swung by the cells in a minute.
Well, they're back at camp. I assume the Strig are still there?
Both of them?
Yes.
Good.
Fools. Do you even know they tried to actually walk right into the cave?
Unbelievable.
God, my dumbass brothers, bro.
Unbelievable. Were they where anybody else that has been caught or noted? Have we done a perimeter check?
There are other guards for that. We were posted here. I don't know, sir.
Full perimeter check. We have somebody going around the entirety of the cave.
Would you like us to do a perimeter check, sir?
Would I like you to go do a perimeter check? Do you want to be the new Jeff? Nobody wants to be the new Jeff.
Sir, you just told us to go back to the camp. Now you want us to do a perimeter check? I just wanted to make sure I have my orders straight.
Priority over going to the camp.
Okay.
How do we keep the camp safe? Say it with me. By doing
Perimeter.
There you go. There you go. Okay. Full swipe. Please go all the way around. And I better have detailed reports for Lieutenant Baby when you come back.
Sir, you do realize that the perimeter check will take hours.
You don't think the safety of the camp is worth a perimeter check? Jeff?
Of course. My name's not Jeff, sir.
Okay, I know it's not, but it's starting
And
to
you're
sound
going to
like
be the
it.
new Jeff.
Okay. Yes, sir. We're on our way, sir.
Appreciate it. I'll put in a
As
good.
they start to like set off, I'm going to just kind of step to the side and like point so that they go in the direction like not that our friends are in.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right. They start scrambling up the side of the mountains, past and over a ridge to begin the perimeter check.
In front of the cave. And start gesticulating but not saying anything. Could you believe this guy's unbelievable? These two idiots always here doing this fucking
All right.
Oh my god.
If I look up behind me, can I, like, if I'm peeking, can I see, like, the next person in the line? Can I see Bog or Enid from here?
You would see Soto's right behind you. You know Enid and Old Bog. I don't know. You guys hiding behind a rock or something back there?
Yes.
I would think
Okay.
so, yeah.
Yes.
Lieutenant Baby, can you tell Soto to get the rest of the gang?
Yes, sir. And I salute and kind of give the one eyebrow up and run off to go get Soto. Okay, well, so Kokoro did that thing that he does, and now the guards are gone, and we have a few hours, maybe, at most. But also it seems like there's a killer mist, and we need to get the rest of our friends over here, I suppose.
Understood. I will go find them.
Okay, all right, I'll meet you back at the cave entrance. And I run back over.
You guys are all gathered now in front of the cave entrance. And as you kind of stand there, you can kind of see a rolling mist kind of coming out of it. And it has a strange smell to it. It smells like iron.
Like blood?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any like food on us? Any rations or anything? Anything that can like organically deteriorate?
Yeah, you would have been given rations by Celine before you left for Grove.
Girl Dion. Okay, can I grab a ration and then just kind of toss it in the cave so it hits the mist? I mean, how far is the mist from the cave's entrance? Let's start there.
It goes far back into the darkness. The light here, the dim light as it is, only kind of goes in about 60 feet, and the darkness just kind of extends beyond it. Enid, you would know, since you lived here, that this entrance cave is about 100 feet before it actually opens up into a large cavern where the market is.
Has this ever happened before? Like a killer mist? Like,
Never.
is this like a normal thing that...
It is not.
Also, do we really know if it's a killer mist, or that maybe they're just scared because they don't know what the fuck's happening? Or it's like a spell that the Turns are doing to like protect Datura
Yeah.
from incoming shit.
Is this something you can do, that spell you have on where like it tells you what it is, or is it too amorphous as a mist?
I don't know. Can you identify something that's vapor?
You can identify anything.
Maybe can we before we go in there, Enid, you said you can talk to people really far away, right?
Yeah, if I can see them.
If you can see them, okay. I mean, maybe even going into the cave far enough, maybe we can spot somebody, and if not, then maybe we can try to investigate this mist.
Yeah, if we go up close and kind of peer through, do we see anything like shifting or moving in there, or does it seem like just foggy?
Make a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay.
You all can if you want to try and peer into the darkness.
With disadvantage, all of us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Unless any of you have dark vision or...
Oh, I have dark vision. I also have exhaustion, so...
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll be a straight roll for those of you who have dark vision then.
Let me double check. I'm not sure if I do or not.
Yeah, I have dark vision.
Okay, I'm gonna re-roll then.
Where would that
Makes
where would
sense.
It'd be under your senses, which you do not have dark vision.
Cool.
All right, so the highest roll there, Harlow, a 19. 14 and it was a 3.
We'll do it
That
with.
was that was a 3.
Hey! Oh, with disadvantage. Okay.
Oh, nat 20, but
So
disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh.
17, Kokoro. All right, Kokoro, as you peer into the darkness, you can see or what seems to be little pinpricks of light deep in the cave.
Because it looks like there's some light deep in the cave past this mist. This mist might be put here to protect Datura from,
What kind of light? Like the lanterns?
like, just like society lights.
With the 17, they look like possibly lanterns of some
Mhm.
kind.
It's giving society.
Not
it's
many.
like-
Just one odd here and there, and they seem quite dim.
How far?
A full 100 feet in.
Cool. Enid, can you try to talk to the lantern? I know that sounds really weird, but maybe you can try to like ping whoever.
Try
is
to
holding
talk
that.
to a lantern?
Yeah. Maybe somebody's holding the lantern. So like you can talk to somebody you can see or something you can see. You can see the lantern. Maybe you can somehow reach whoever's holding it.
Yeah, let me. I might not have to see them. Let's see.
While she does that, can I toss a ration into the mist and see what it does to the ration?
All right. How far do you want to toss it in? Like within your vision?
Yeah, within like
Okay.
I don't know, 5 feet,
30
whatever.
Okay, yeah, sure. You toss it in because it kind of goes splot on the stone floor and just sits there. Nothing happens.
Okay, it doesn't deteriorate or anything like that.
No.
Okay, I
Nope.
pluck a feather and I throw a feather into the mist. What does that do? Same thing. Okay, so
Yeah, maybe.
There are, however, not with the ration, but with the feather. You see what looks to be some tendrils of mist kind of reach out almost like as if it was curious about the feather and kind of wrap and twist itself around the feather before drawing back.
Well, that's not a good sign.
This vaguely reminds me of those little lights in the swamp on our way out of Joa. You know, they kind of twisted up at us and they were like inspecting. I wonder if this is another sort of odd effect from,
the area.
yeah, and from like, you know, the Spiritsong being missing, maybe now with the Ebonchant being added, we're seeing even more sort of odd undead effects.
I would like to do two things if possible. I would like to minor. What do we think a minor illusion or Carlo? Maybe your hologram thing. We need to put a copy of us at the front of the cave.
Right. Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm going to put
What would last longer, you think?
my glimmer box will last for as long as I have it going. Although it doesn't move or anything like that. So it just is like a hologram that's stationary.
Yeah, I think with the minor illusion is kind of the same.
Yeah, it should be very similar to minor illusion. I can set that up, and maybe while I do that, Enid, did you want to try identify on the mist and see if there's anything we can learn about its effects?
Yeah. I also don't have to see. It's just a target.
So hypothetically, we could even like sneak up to the camp if we can figure out where the prison is and maybe talk to Soto's brothers.
Oh yeah, Soto, your
Oh,
brother.
by the way,
a prisoner.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you mention that they're
Didn't really mention that when she got you.
I'm confused.
sorry, bro. We didn't want to upset you. You've had a hard day with family stuff.
No,
Yeah,
I'm-
good call, Lieutenant
I'm,
Baby.
I'm confused. Are they in the cave or the camp?
They're
The camp.
imprisoned in the camp. It sounds.
In a prison in the camp.
They tried to come in the cave and they were stopped and
Right.
taken-
Okay.
captured. Yeah, by the guard. Yeah,
no,
it sounded like they didn't know what was going on either, and they tried to walk in the cave and were.
Aren't your brothers pretty strong too?
strong of body, perhaps, but not of mind.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, so I'm gonna run back to the cave entrance and just leave my glimmer box there. I'm gonna keep my remote with me, but I'm gonna set it so it looks like 2 guards just watching.
Okay.
Head
Yeah.
back in.
Like us, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you see 2 figures of guards kind of spring to life with your illusionary box. No reaction.
Okay. Just leave it there and have it stay so it looks like the guard is still at the cave entrance in case anyone comes along or peeks out, and run back into the cave with everybody.
Sure.
All right. Guard images are set at the entrance.
Good job, Lieutenant Baby. Can we? So Enid, I think, is identifying the mist. Can we help with like an Arcana check or something?
Right. So the thing with identify though is that you need to be in it. You need to be able to like manipulate it or be right there. You can't do it from afar.
Can we start with an Arcana check?
You can start, sure. Go ahead with an Arcana check.
Come on, fellow people who are better at me at intelligence.
So, how many feet into the cave would you say we are?
You're probably maybe 20 feet in.
Okay.
That's not bad.
And how far in is the mist?
Probably about another 40 feet ahead of you. There's this kind of wall of mist. 18. All right. And does anyone roll for Enid? I think Enid has pretty good Arcana. +3.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do just a d20 roll.
Okay. All right, 15.
So, yeah.
All right.
I can roll if you need me to.
Oh, you can? Okay. Go ahead and roll if you like. I didn't know if you're driving and I didn't want you to be rolling at the same time.
Arcana?
Arcana, yeah.
I'm not driving, but I will start in a minute because it's like
Okay.
a 3-hour drive.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's a 15. I don't know if that shows up in Foundry.
Okay. All right.
Hey.
15. Okay. So it's 18 and a 15. You get a sense that this is not your normal mist. There is a strange odor, as I mentioned before, of blood coming from it. And you can see it almost has like veins in it. If you look hard enough, it almost looks like there are organic veins that kind of writhe in the space of the mist. And you can tell that there's not just one, but 2 of these clouds, and they block the entire entrance.
I have one last idea if anybody has anything else.
Tell us what you're thinking.
I want to take out my shamisen and start to play the Spiritsong and see if it reacts like nature reacted last time.
Make a performance check.
Can I help him by playing my lute?
Sure. Yep. Go ahead with advantage, Kokoro.
Okay.
You have some accompaniment.
Of that. You said performance?
Yes, please. All right. Nicely done. You replay the Spirit Song as you heard it masterfully. And to the rest of you, in this strange, dark, oppressive cave between Enid and Kokoro's song, it seems to lift your spirits a little, lift some of that darkness and that dreariness from you. but otherwise it does not seem to affect the mist or anything else.
Okay. This is gonna sound fucked
Do you
up, but
go ahead? I was just gonna say, do you want me to identify it?
well, I don't want you to get hurt. So that's the thing, right? It smells like
I
blood.
don't.
It curled around my feather like it wanted to fucking eat it. So like I'm trying to
I
do
don't
everything not physical before we actually have to do physical stuff.
Well, I'm not getting
think
near that shit.
physical.
I wonder if my dad mouse could go through it.
Dad mouse, that's a good idea. Hold on.
'Cause he still has a soul, but his body is like a construct, sort of.
Okay. I want to, in a more hushed voice, and slightly less, I guess, force on the shamisen, down tune it, and use mimicry to do the Ebonchant and see if that does anything to the mist. And if it literally, like if we see any fucking reaction, I'm gonna shut up.
All right. And you roll performance again as you try and sing the Ebonchant.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Are you helping this time again, Enid?
Say yes to the dress.
Yes, I can.
Okay. Sure.
I am driving now, though, so
Okay. All right.
it's gonna be a hard
11.
time. Like I can unmute and mute, but
Okay. No worries. I won't ask you for rolls. All right. So with an 11, Kokoro, you managed to the best of your ability at the end of this.
Not doing it, so
You start to recite the words, put to music, and you can see the mist seem to grow.
okay, yeah, you fucking shut up. Like grow towards us or like get bigger.
Just grow, and you can see the veins start to become a little bit more pronounced within this mist.
No, I
and all
immediately
start to close.
just mute it. Nothing. Stop. Like the minute I saw some sort of like not reaction that I'm looking for, I just stop doing that. And I just go, that felt really weird. I don't do that again.
If my brothers were trying to go in, perhaps they were advised why they should not be going in.
Yes, it seems that there's not a lot we can do here without more information at the very least.
Enid, you'd never heard of this before? It's not some sort of defense mechanism or anything like that? It's not protecting people inside?
Enid, this is not anything your people would ever have done.
Okay.
Deploy killer fox.
Did we try talking to the lights that we saw about 100 feet in? I don't think she tried to do that.
You cannot. You still need a target, and you don't. If the target is the lantern, that's all you can really see. It's not going to talk back.
Hmm.
How this light?
You said, okay, Kokoro, you threw a feather in, and what was the other thing?
Ration, just to see like if
What
It
happened to
acid.
the ration?
nothing. It didn't deteriorate that, but maybe it's because it's not live. Like it's still organic matter, but it's not like had been recently alive. So honestly, maybe Dad Mouse is the move.
I would like to spend 10 minutes to fashion the most scientifically perfect paper airplane with my scrounge crafting kit that has ever been made in the history of ever. It's going to fly so straight.
Airplane.
So I can write a note on it and say, like, what do we want? Like, if there's people in there, flash the light a little bit or something so we know. Or, like, say we have people from Datura out here
I'm gonna go back home.
trying to figure out how to, what's going on? Are you safe? Can we help?
Should we put Enid's name in there? Do you think they'll recognize that? Is it like
Yeah. Ina, do you want us to ask about Thadric or mention the family? We
I
can
feel-
mention the Legion is blocking the way and we've snuck past briefly, maybe. What do we want to say? We'll see if it even works. Like, it might not go through, but
we need to figure out a way to we need to write something convincing enough to know that it's not the Legion trying to trick them. Like we need information like from Datura to prove to them that we have a Daturian with us. Something only that somebody from Datura could know in there, just so we can have that proof.
okay.
Harlow, can I get you to make a scrounge crafting kit? This will be an intelligence check, and you can add your proficiency to it.
Okay.
While she does that, can I go back to the front of the cave and kind of do a look-see?
So my proficiency
Go ahead and
bonus
make a perception.
2.
There's these fives.
You're getting a lot of vibes.
Oh,
All right.
Okay, my intelligence is +3 and my proficiency bonus is +2. So I guess I'm going to roll a d20. Is there a way to do just an intelligence check?
Yeah, you should just be able to click on intelligence, and that should do it.
Oh, maybe I just wasn't clicking it well. And then it's +5, so 16.
16. All right. So you
Wait, actually, my apologies. My proficiency bonus. No, okay, yeah, sorry, it is 5. Yeah, 16.
All right. So you managed to craft a pretty damn good paper airplane.
Okay.
We've written your note on it, and you launch it down the corridor.
Okay. Now we wait, I guess.
And Kokoro, as you kind of retreat back to the mouth of the cave where the 2 illusionary guards are still standing, and do a quick look around, you don't see or hear anyone approaching.
okay. I'll go back in.
As you are about to turn and go back in, Harlow, as your paper airplane seems to pierce and disappear into that strange mist towards the specks of light beyond it, you notice one by one those lights disappear.
Ooh. How far in does the paper airplane get before I can't see it anymore?
Beyond the mist, you cannot see it, and you all hear what sounds to be a strange wail emerge from the darkness
Ooh.
beyond.
Like a sperm whale?
You wish.
Somebody's in pain? Does it sound like somebody's in pain, or is it a
Awesome.
scary wail or a painful wail?
Not a painful wail, but just
Like a mournful whale?
yeah, a wail that is unnatural and sends shivers down your spine.
Whale, whale, whale.
Oh boy.
Okay, I want to try one more thing if I can to see if we can see anything. I'm going to go to the edge of the mist and I'm going to try to arc this, and I'm going to use a new cantrip that I'm going to pretend that Celine Dion taught it to me. And it's called Starry Wisp. And I'm going to launch a mote of light. It says that one creature or object within range, which is 60 feet. I'm just going to see whatever I can see 60 feet that way. And technically I have to roll to hit. But it emits dim light in a 10-foot radius. And whatever it's lighting up can't benefit from an invisible condition. So pretty much I'm just trying to throw a mote of light and see what we can see, if we can see anything.
So, but you're walking further into the cave, right up into the edge of the mist, then.
Yeah.
Before you do this, okay. Is anyone going with Kokoro?
I don't want to touch the mist. I'm staying within
Right.
yeah.
I'll go with them.
I'll move up a little bit closer to it. But I don't want to get closer than like 20 feet at most.
I'm 5 feet.
So Kokoro, you're up there. Harlow, you're about 20 feet behind. Actually, I'll go this way, left to right. So Kokoro, 20 feet behind. Soda, you're up there with Harlow, maybe 20 feet up behind Kokoro, or do you want to go get closer?
We'll get closer. His brothers wanted in there for a reason.
Okay. Enid and Old Bog, are you hanging out back, or are you going in further?
No.
Just gonna stay back. Don't
Okay.
want to get hurt.
All
Yeah,
right,
I'm
so
not
Old
getting near
Bog,
that shit.
Well,
No
can
way.
we
Old Bog,
can we form like a safety chain, like me and then Soto 5 feet from me, and then somebody Old Bog 5 feet from Soto. That way, if some shit grabs me, we can
Here,
all.
I'll toss a
Ye-
rope at you. Tie it around
Yeah.
your waist.
Okay, there we go. I like that shit. I feel safer. I'm bogging it, guys. I'm doing it.
50 feet of rope. Maybe 5 feet to tie it around his waist. 45 feet. I'll hold
Then-
on to the other end.
all right, Kokoro. You
Just
make
think-
your way to the edge of the mist. You go through the motions of creating your cantrip. You're this little mote of starlight. When suddenly
Mm.
Uh-oh.
the mist reaches out and grabs you.
Oh no!
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. For me,
Oh,
please.
fuck.
With advantage, because I have a rope in front.
No, sorry.
Okay. Okay. Fuck. Okay. Constitution saving throw. Not my favorite. Please, God of Dice.
Hey.
Not bad.
Okay.
All right.
I'm like 5 feet from it.
Yep. You see tendrils of this mist suddenly lash out at you, envelop you, wrap around you. It's like it surged forward a little bit, and then just the rest of the mist just kind of advances the whole 5 feet. The whole wall of mist
What
moves,
the fuck? Pull me!
and-
Pull me!
and you're enveloped in this. You can feel as this mist touches you, you can see these red like veins kind of attaching to you. And it's like your body, you're suddenly in a deep freezer now, and you can start feeling your life being sucked out of you.
Pull
You made your
me!
Constitution save, so you're not damaged this round.
Pull me out of here! I want to move. I want to leave. I want to
Okay.
Yeah.
move. Pull me.
Old Bog will yank the rope.
Pull me.
All right.
Soto,
So
help.
as you
Pulling.
as you retreat and are pulled back by your friends out of the mist kind of retreats as well, and goes back to its original position.
Don't go in there. Just fucking move away from the mist.
What happened? How does it feel?
Not good. It's like tendrils took over and my life force felt cold.
Well, I wouldn't do that again.
Yeah, not trying to do that, man. Trying to do that again. I'm gonna walk out and just try to like fucking warm up and just try to do another perception check outside the cave.
All right, go for it. What are the rest of you doing as you see Kokoro just walk away after that horrible experience?
Fucking perception.
Well, I have to assume that Celine wouldn't have sent us here intentionally if there was nothing we could do. So I think we need to gather more information and figure out what we're up against. It clearly it's not like the Ironclad Legion is like feeding people to it, or at least not just willy-nilly, because they stopped Soto's siblings from going in. So I'm gonna kind of talk to Enid about this and say all that, like my theory, and just be like, So we have to figure out what happened to all the people that were in Datura, if they left, if they're still in there, if they're surrounded by this mist, or maybe not. Maybe we can get a message to Soto's siblings somehow and ask them questions, but I think we're gonna have to get information from this Legion or someone nearby who knows more.
Maybe we can spy on them.
Yeah. Is there, well, it's night again now, so I'm going to ask Enid if there's anywhere nearby that would be safe to camp. I can set up an alarm around us so we know if anyone's coming, but if there's somewhere kind of hidden, then we can kind of rest and plan.
Sure. Yeah. Enid, you would know of several places where you can kind of retreat to and possibly hide. You do know that there is the Ironclad Legion around, and apparently they're doing patrols now. But yeah, sure. If you guys want to retreat, take another long rest, hopefully to remove that point of exhaustion.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Ooh, that would be helpful.
We could do that, set up a camp, and then maybe tomorrow we can spy on the camp and see if we can figure out what happened with Soto's siblings, get some more info.
The only thing with that, I mean, how much time do we have until those two finish their perimeter check?
They said several hours.
Yeah, but they also said that they had 1 hour until somebody came to replace them.
Exactly.
So like, what are we on the timeline with that hour? I'm sure that's
That
coming.
hour? Yeah, you guys have been hanging around here for over half an hour already, so
we don't have a lot of time before the next shift comes. The camp is a good idea. We know Soto's brothers are in the prison. As an idea, me and Lieutenant Baby can take Soto as a prisoner. Say we found another Strig. That they were looking for Strig brothers, and then try to get them together, and then we can do some surveying of the camp and try to make our way back to you guys and make a plan to get them all out. But that would include possibly losing Soto, but maybe he'd be able to come up with a plan with his brothers. I don't know. We just don't have a lot of time to make a decision, so we have to pick. If we're leaving, we got to leave the cave area and try to find somewhere in the woods to be safe. Because
Yep. I say we get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Those guards are gonna get back and know there was something funny going on.
If we are doing the camp idea, I think that I should cast Identify on the mist before, just so if I waste a spell slot, then, well, it's not a waste of a spell slot, but
if you're gonna do that, we're gonna have to fucking
don't
tie
wanna-
a rope around you, and you're gonna have to get in that fucking mist, and you're gonna make a Constitution saving throw when you get in there, just so you know.
Or like, you have to be in there for 10 minutes, so it would be like,
Oh, fuck.
10 minutes.
10 minutes? No, that's if she wants to ritual cast it. She can just use the spell slot and make it instant.
oh, gotcha, okay.
Yeah, no way. You would die.
yeah, but I also don't know if I have to be in it. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
that's what Andrew said, yeah.
I think I just have to. Oh, I have to be in it.
Yeah, he
You
said
have to-
you have to, like, manipulate it. You can do it, it's doable, right? Like, when you step in there, you're gonna do a Constitution saving throw, but we can tie a rope around you, and after you're done identifying, we can just pull you out of there.
Can you use a bardic on a saving throw?
Yeah, I can. It's a great idea, actually.
By the way, Identify takes 1 minute, 10 rounds.
So she had to make 10 Constitution saving throws.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Wait, it takes 1 minute?
And here's the
Yeah.
thing, guys. Yeah, it takes a minute even as a
As a spell?
not ritual. But I chose Warcaster for advantage on con, but it's only for concentration.
Ooh,
And I could have done resilient, and I was thinking about doing resilient, which would have given me proficiency
Yeah.
in con saves.
Oh.
well.
Oh well.
Well, here's the thing: is that the goat people seemed like it wasn't from them. And then my intuition is that this is nothing that the people of Datura would have created. So where did it come from?
Yeah.
I mean, like if we're being real, after I barely muttered the Ebonchant, I think it came from the Ebonchant being completed. Like as we were flying over, everything seemed darker and dreary and not full of light or hope at all. So I'm assuming that when the
But
Ebonchant,
it seems so, like, what's the word? Like, it seems so targeted, like to be in that specific spot in the opening of this cave. You know what I mean?
who's to say that it isn't elsewhere too in different manifestations? Like Harlow mentioned, there was the jungle that tried to grab us with the vines. So it might just be manifesting itself in certain areas a certain way. And again, we don't know how the Ebonchant works. We don't know, like, what if the deterrents have something that can help against
It could be also like some kind of like
keep them there.
an aberrate, like a messed up version of some kind of like magic related to the Spiritsong that used to be here that maybe protected the area. And now that the Spiritsong's gone and the Ebonchant is there instead, now there's like a dangerous thing around it. Like maybe that's why this cave was picked by the Deterrents in the first place, because the Spiritsong was really strong and like echoed in the cave or something. Like who knows?
Ooh, and now it's just corrupted.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll try to find out.
The only other thing we can try is to just see if how the mist would react to a deterrent. Because we saw how it reacted with me, but I'm not for me. I have no connection.
That was my thought. Yeah.
So
If
even with
I
that,
step
even
into
without
it,
an identify, we can just have her go in there for 6 seconds. Anything happens, we pull her out, just like me. But at least we'll know, because if for whatever reason she can walk through that mist, that might be our way to do something. But we got to move it. We got to do it now because we have like 20 minutes.
Or your little
yeah.
light moat friend that you sent to explore in the office before too. How far can they go? Can they go 100 feet?
Nope.
I don't think.
Oh,
Okay.
she
Yeah.
has a mode. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I think I mean, Enid, if you're down, like we have to try something and then we have to go.
Yeah.
No, but that's actually a really good idea, Harlow, because I can look through SD's eyes.
Heck yeah, do that.
Would that work?
I don't know.
I can do find familiar and then I'll have her walk in as far as she can. I'm again not super remembering how far she can go. I think it's like 60 feet, and past that I lose sound,
Yeah.
but I still have sight.
Yeah, I think you can go pretty far.
Yeah.
Let me just double check that.
But I'm gonna do that. I have my familiar and
Okay.
my star sprite.
You bring out your lemon sprite. Was it lemon sprite?
Yeah.
No.
I think it's lemon lime.
Lemon lime?
Like
Okay.
lemon lime.
You know, Sprite. Anyway.
All right. All right, so she comes to your when you beckon, and this beautiful little sprite-like creature in lemon lime, kind of like Tinkerbell with little fairy wings. Says, yes. How can I help you?
Yeah. And I'll send her in, and I'll hold on to Harlow because I lose my senses, and I'll put my senses into her.
Okay. It's 100 feet, by the way. Says she looks into the dark cave and sees the freaky mist there, and says, "So I just want to be clear. You want me to go through that?"
Yes.
Can it? Can she?
I'll go.
Can she fly?
Go with.
Yep.
Can it
she can
hover?
fly.
Oh, maybe she can fly over the mist.
It blocks the whole entrance.
Oh, okay. So it's just like the wall. Okay.
Okay. Okay. And I'm doing this just because you've asked.
Yeah, that's what Find Familiar does. You're my familiar.
Yeah.
You do shit for me.
Oh, God.
You could be nice about it.
Yeah, I whispered to Soto. I'm like,
It is so stressed.
And she goes fluttering down the hallway, kind of spheres. Does someone want to make a Constitution saving throw for the sprite?
Okay, I can roll a d20.
Mhm.
I don't know what the sprite, if it has like plus or minus or whatever.
Nope, nothing.
It's a 15.
15. So you see her fly into the mist. You can see the mist kind of contract immediately around her. You can see the red veins pulsing and trying to dig their way into her as she moves forward. And as she moves deeper into the cave, one of the two that you notice, these clouds, seem attached to her. And as she flies, it continues to try and draw. I need you to make another Constitution saving throw for.
Okay. Oh, that one.
Oh.
that's rough.
All right, I'm just gonna roll.
While this is happening, can I motion over to Soto to help me keep a lookout? Because I'm like getting real nervous. Like we're running out of time.
Yeah, he join you.
She has managed to. You are 60 feet in. She's managed to fly to the edge of the large cavern entrance. You can see at this distance, you're now in her senses, Enid. And you can see her and you can feel her body. It feels as though she's being ripped apart as these red veins start to take root, and you can feel the necrotic energy siphoning the life out of your familiar. And I'll remind you, if your familiar dies, you have to recast the ritual, including all the summoning components, all that stuff. You cannot resummon her again. She's dead.
Yeah. But she does go into a pocket dimension. She can't really die, so.
But you will need to resummon her, though. So that's another
Yeah, of
100
course,
gold
yeah.
pieces worth of components or whatever it costs.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what you see beyond the mist.
Ooh.
Oh.
What you see is what used to be a thriving night market filled with crates and people trading and laughing and eating, and is now completely destroyed. The carts overturned sideways. Half of them look rotten and ripped apart. There are a few lanterns that were lit here, but they've now been extinguished. And can someone make another Constitution saving throw for Sprite?
I'll do it.
15.
All right, you guys are doing well. So she's hanging on there. You can feel that she's in a great amount of pain, Enid, but she is still there. And would you like her to move forward through this destroyed market?
Yeah. And remind me, I feel like I need my character sheet, but I believe that I can cast through a familiar.
You can.
So can I cast Identify through her?
Yeah,
Or-
you could. You could. Would you like to? On the mist?
Yes.
All right. She's going to have to make 10 successive saving throws
Oh my god.
for you to finish this Identify. But let's get it started. All right. So as she's moving forward and you're casting Identify, she's beginning to move to the edge of your senses unless you yourself move further into the cave.
No, I'll stay.
Okay. Can you make Someone make one more Constitution saving throw for
Okay.
I'll do it
Right.
again.
12.
Well,
Let me just double check this DC on this. DC is a 13.
oh come on!
Oh no.
Oh,
Does she have any pluses?
No, she does not.
Okay.
I'm sad now. Man.
And in the last few moments of her agonizing life, as she is ripped
God.
apart by this mist,
Wow, I feel really bad now.
you see a shadowy creature at the back of the cave. It looks more like it's made from smoke or mist than anything else. Scream towards you.
Ooh.
That's
Like it's gonna come out of the cave.
that's the thing that wailed.
And
Yeah.
that's where
You
we'll
think-
end tonight.
Oh,
What?
Oh my
that's
God.
crazy.